Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Sealeze number G645CLA18BL. This is a piece of heavy-duty nylon thermal brush. Gasketing is what it is. So this is a fairly unique piece of weather stripping, meaning you're not really going to see this in a residential application at all. With the exception of perhaps using it maybe on an overhead door, but it's really large for a residential overhead door. So this 45-degree angle type, that's really obviously meant to be installed to, well, you can have a swinging door, a very large swinging man door. Maybe you have something very large, and a 45-degree angle will work very nice because the door will come up and make contact with it like this. So this is the egress side of the opening where I'm at. And then your door will come up and just make contact. This concept is used in that application just with smaller material. You know what, before we go further describing it, let's take some dimensional properties. What we have is 1 3/4 length on the bristle. Okay, we have a 1-inch length on the aluminum holder. When the item is installed, you're going to have a projection from this mounting surface to the end of the bristle at about an inch and 7/8 or so. You know, maybe from 1 3/4. Maybe about 1 3/4 would be better for an average. Okay, and this is obviously just a short sample piece. Where this is used is in overhead doors, and it's mounted to the jamb and to the header, and I suppose you could even mount it to the bottom rail of the door as well. This would make a nice option to be able to just come down and close on the sill like this. But this sort of angle is really appropriate to have your overhead door just running up against that when you've mounted it flat. And indeed, this angle style is really what you're going to see in overhead door construction. If you ever study it, you'll notice that the vinyl is kicked out at a degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, whatever it is. Well, this very large heavy-duty piece allows you to do that in a heavy-duty sort of fashion. So the people who are calling for these have large doors, like aircraft hangar doors, literally, is where these are used, and even bigger versions as well. And the reason is because of construction of these large industrial doors simply require a greater amount of length, longer bristle, thicker bristle, whatever the case is. Now, speaking of bristle, and especially an overhead door that can very often be corrugated, the one in this building is corrugated, bristle does an excellent job at sealing an irregular surface. So if my fingers represent the corrugated surface of the door, you can see how effective it is at being able to seal that. Okay, that would be another advantage of bristle. It's normal that this is loose like this, especially in a sample piece. After you get the unit installed, you would simply crimp the aluminum to prevent that from sliding. Okay, this is listed in the website in lots of different lengths. Everything from 2 foot to 8 foot. Obviously, if you're dealing with an overhead door, you're probably going to need much longer lengths. I don't know for sure the maximum length, but my guess is somewhere in the range of 16 foot would be normal for a maximum length. So we could supply you with longer pieces. We just have to quote the freight because it's too long to go package service. Now, in the G645 heavy-duty series material that's here, which is, in fact, Sealeze's heaviest brush, intended to seal out elements around large industrial rolling steel doors, sectional doors, and other large service doors, including aircraft hangar doors. This material is available in brush lengths up to 7-inch. And what we end up doing is the 018 in the part number actually means, in Sealeze speak, 1 3/4. So if we change to that 018, or forgive me, just 18, to a different value, we change the length of the bristle. They don't list 7-inch bristle in their catalog that I see. I do see 5-inch bristle with, you know, with a longer, larger aluminum holder in terms of this dimension. But needless to say, larger sizes can certainly be done, as well as smaller sizes. And really, again, the hallmark of bristle is its ability to seal itself against an irregular floor surface. You could mount this onto your overhead door. It can come down. You can position it so it doesn't interrupt the overhead door operation. And maybe if there's a pitch to the door a little bit, bristle like this would do a real good job at accommodating for that. Now, if this was the genuine article, there would be a slotted hole at some position from the end, and then every so many inches. Generally, the rule of thumb on the quantity of slotted holes is that the length expressed in feet, you'd have one more hole. So if it was a 3-foot piece, the general rule of thumb is that you'd have 4 holes. And while that's not a firm and hard rule, and you might have 3, you're not going to have 5, though, is the point. You can expect to have 4 holes. And Sealeze, their standard is to send self-drilling hex head screws. And a lot of people prefer a self-drilling screw. They just simply zip the screw in and move on with their installation. So these other sizes that I've referred to, you can review those from the link below this video to the manufacturer's page, where you can pull up not only all of the Sealeze products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, where you can then search through there. And you'll notice that all that Sealeze does is bristle. Their name is synonymous with bristle. Their argument in the very early portion of the catalog is that bristle is superior. I think they infer to all other types of sealing insert. You can get UL rated material for up to 3 hours, provided that you're 4-inch or shorter in terms of that length. And if you do have a fire rated door, you know, having all of your components listed or labeled is required. Back to the lengths. Don't try to cut this in your saw. That's steel. That retainer that's there, that's obviously aluminum, clear anodized aluminum. In fact, so you're going to want to be careful to cut this before you cut this separately from the aluminum, then crimp this after your installation. Okay. If you have any questions on the Sealeze G645CLA18BL bristle, black bristle, or any other Sealeze product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.